Good morning, everybody. It's 9:47 Monday morning. I just want to do a quick update on gold and oil because some of you are asking in the chat room just what I see and what I think is going on. So I'm just going to quickly throw up this quick video, give you a quick kind of visual update of how I see things and how I'm kind of interpreting it. So I'll just show you here. Okay, so this is the Kitco gold chart. It overlays 3 days. Because we went through the weekend, we're not seeing the third day on here, but what I'm seeing right off the hop is gold today is moving opposite more or less of what it did on Friday. Sorry, on Thursday. Oh no, sorry, on Friday. Okay, so now we're coming into this prime time. This is when gold always seems to make a move either up or down. Because it's doing the opposite as what it did previous days, we instead of selling down like what it did, we might actually see it cross and rally up, or we might continue to see the same move as last Friday and see another down leg. So because it's a mixed signal right now, this is one reason why I don't really want to touch gold. It could go either way very quick here, and I just don't think it's a high probability play. So that's kind of the one reason why I don't want to touch gold right now. Now if I pull in, let me just, okay, so here's a gold chart. This is a 10-minute chart. You can see we had the big sell-off on Friday, this waterfall sell-off, huge volume, and then we kind of got this dead cat bounce, kind of a bear, it's a bear flag. And then of course more or less we had the low break, and this was this morning. This happened last night, this morning, and it went lower, and this is what shakes out a lot of hands. But now we're kind of drifting back up, and we're stuck right under this key resistance level here. So, and it's starting to head down now. And what I think is happening is I see this as being a shoulder, this is a head, and we could very much get a drift down to create another shoulder. So here is the 60-minute chart. It's probably making you dizzy with me jumping around here in time frames, but here's a 60-minute chart. This sell down was Friday, and what I'm seeing, what I'm thinking is we got a shoulder, a head, and right now we're stuck under that resistance level, and we might eventually just kind of roll out and get a kind of a bull flag. Like it'll actually kind of rally and then have that funny angle, but this time the funny angle is a bull flag, and then we might go higher right up into, say, this level. So, and of course this will be a neckline, and this would be shoulder. So I'm kind of seeing that flip, and of course if we take that flip, we've got $5, $10, $15. You flip that to the upside, you got $5, $10, $15, brings you right back into resistance. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. I have a feeling the SP 500 might do the same thing, similar. We just have to let it unfold. Of course, the market changes pretty much every minute. Volume and sentiment and news, everything affects the market. So as much as I see this happening now, it could be a completely different story 5 minutes from now. But and that's why I continually update and keep in touch in the chat room, is because things do change, and I want everybody to see and understand kind of how I see things and am thinking about it. Okay, so that is the gold. And if I pull in crude oil here, this is the daily chart. I do trade crude oil sometimes. It's not my I don't trade it as much as gold or the S&P. I find gold and S&P are the bread and butter. They're just continuously constant good setups, and I have very high probability of winning those trades. Crude oil is great, but I don't focus on it quite as much. But more or less what I want to show you here is how to see kind of support levels. A lot of people see support as the high, so you'd bring it across. Oops, sorry, let me get rid of that. A lot of people always kind of go across the high, and they're like, well, that's, or across the actual high, and say, well, I want to buy here, and of course they get shaken out. What I always use for support level is pretty much the middle of the pack. So I'd cut right through the middle where right through the middle where most, on average, that's the average price of all the people buying and selling. That'll be the average price, and that'll be key support. And of course, that's how it usually carries through for a pullback. And it's these people who try and pick early, and they buy it, and then of course they get shaken out, and that causes the higher volume selling, and they all panic out, and they get frustrated. Like, I bought it at support and it broke down. Of course, they cover right down here, and then it rockets without them. And of course, we're always looking to buy after this panic selling, which is what we're hoping today is going to kick in, and another little batch of kind of panic selling, and everybody floods out once a new low's hit, and we'll actually be sliding in there for a nice, probably a long trade, which means we're buying it, hoping for higher prices. So if I just bring you to the current price, you kind of cut right through. Let me just zoom in a bit. If we just cut through most of this noise, you kind of end up with around $80, 80, 80 and a half, $81, somewhere in there, give or take. It's never exact science, but we're kind of cutting through the top here. You can see there was a little bit of a cluster here, like they started to push up. There was resistance trying to break through these highs, and then of course it popped. So we know there's definitely a level here that's important, and the same here. It started to slide, and then of course it tested its head once it broke through, and then it tanked down. So we definitely know that there's volume here. There's lots of volume in here. We had a run up and a little bull flag in here, so we know there's volume here. And once it broke through, it tested it and then bounced off it nicely, rallied, and now we're back down near this level. Now, I'm not saying to buy this here at all. I don't see it as a good trade in my opinion yet. We'll just kind of continue to watch it, but we'll zoom in, of course, on the intraday charts and see if we end up seeing some type of reversal pattern form on the intraday charts in the next couple of days here, and go from there. The nice thing about this is we are down near support, and if you notice any of these other support levels that are reached, you usually have this big selling, and it's the panic selling. And when people panic out, it tends to be near the bottom. So yeah, it does look like a fairly good setup, maybe for a swing trade in a day or so, or later today, who knows. But that's kind of how I see it. I wouldn't recommend buying it today. I wouldn't touch it right now. So I just want to warn you guys. I know some of you guys do jump in positions if I just say it looks good. I know some of you will jump in a position, but I'm just warning you, this to me is not a good setup yet. It looks good, but it's not a low risk in my opinion yet. So I'll keep you updated, and I'll talk to you guys in the chat room. Bye.